Hello everyone, I'm Raíssa and I'm bringing you now a new podcast of the blog Softball Now. This Saturday morning we have a little cloudy sky here in Natal, but the temperature is 28 degrees Celsius. It really feels like 32 degrees Celsius, very hot, it's summertime. And today we're going to talk about how Brazil and the USA, they look so alike right now, but not so much. And I'll tell you why. And these similarities sometimes they seem a little frightening because, as I told here before, I was very used to seeing Brazil repeating the USA, but now we see the opposite. We see all the other way around. We see the United States repeating Brazil's situation. And I'll tell you why, because when you had the elections for president in the USA, the spirit was really similar to the Brazilian presidential election, which happened in 2014, so 2 years before. We had all the division in the population with people really clashing about rightist and leftist ideas, and people getting really intolerant with other people's opinion about politics. And then people started to rally in the streets. We had these black blocs. If you haven't heard about them, it's those guys that are all dressed in black with masks, and that they take advantage of these protests in the streets to destroy things, to destroy shops, to destroy cars, to set things on fire. So it's vandalism, to say the little or the minimum thing that I can say about it. So we see these things happening right now in the USA. And as I told you, when we had the elections, I told you that we would have this feeling going on after the results, especially because Donald Trump was the winner. And he, different from Brazil, he keeps this image of a candidate that is trying to fight whatever happened before in the USA. And that is the biggest difference that I see. Because, for example, Brazil's president, Michel Temer, he tries to keep a very low profile. It's kind of a shy guy. He understands that he didn't get the popular vote to be there. He got there for a circumstance that the Dilma Rousseff president, she was impeached. So Donald Trump, wow, he is as subtle as an elephant in the kitchen. So what we see, that is one of the biggest differences we have right now between Brazil and the USA. And Brazil is a little bit better because of that. Temer is also trying to change Brazil's policies in some areas. For example, the economy, that's the biggest difference right now, that he's trying to make some improvement. But nothing is really extreme or too extreme as we see Donald Trump trying to do. For example, social insurance that we have in Brazil for people who are really poor. They get some money every month. And rightist movements, they hate this idea. And leftist movements, they think Michel Temer represents these kind of ideas. Well, he hasn't changed anything about these programs that we have here. Even though the government expenses, they have been scrutinized because Brazil has a very big deficit right now. But when it comes to Trump's orders, I think everything came too much too soon. You know, the first moment he became the president, in his term, starting his term, all the reference to climate change were removed from the White House website. Also, this website immediately changed its page about foreign relations, about the LGBTQ community. So it was clearly sending a message to the American people, to the world, that all these ideas, they are bad ideas to the country. And the second day, he started writing these executive orders that are shocking the world so far. He signed the USA off a trade deal with Asian countries, something that has been established, that was established last year, and then now the USA has retreated from there. He decided to advance the construction of two controversial pipelines, the Keystone XL and Dakota Access. Dakota Access was the one that had been halted over huge protests by Barack Obama because it was going to interfere in an Indian community. So the USA decided to halt that pipeline, that access, to try to get an alternate route. But Donald Trump is just trying to accelerate these constructions. He also instructed federal agencies to weaken Obamacare, but he doesn't mention how his new insurance plan is going to happen. It's going to be. We have no idea about it. And now we have this idea of building a wall to separate the United States from Mexico. And he promised that Mexico would pay for the wall. But what we see right now is that the American people are going to pay for it, because he's going to create this 20% import tax over Mexican products, and this will have, as he says, a huge impact in products which Americans love. For example, Corona beer, Dos Equis beer. So just to say here, two of the most popular products, because Mexican products now interfere even with cars in the USA. So the result of that is that the American people are going to pay for this stupid wall. What else we have? Donald Trump, for me, he seems to be angry with everything Obama administration did. And he's doing everything he can to destroy any legacy of this administration. Doesn't matter if it's a good or a bad thing. If it is from the previous administration, then he's going to destroy that. It seems to me that this is the other plan he has. Other than that, he has no plan. There is nothing positive from him. We don't have any positive idea of how to build something important for the economy, how to improve social relations, foreign relations. No, he's just convinced that he has to destroy everything that has happened before in the USA, especially during Obama administration. So we don't have any positive policy, no, zero, nada. That's what we got. He's completely committed to the past. That's what I see. And that's the worst part, I think, because it's not with the good things from the past, but only those years when words like equality or human rights, they had no impact on everyday life. So everybody is afraid now. The only thing that Donald Trump has built so far is this sense of fear, this sense of hatred, all bad feelings of no hope in the American people, in the population of the world, that he's going to just, how can I say, share all this hatred and fear with everybody. Now he's trying to expel all illegal immigrants. Of course, they're illegal, but sometimes, I don't have the numbers, but most of the times these people, they work and they play an important part in constructing a strong economy. That's in all countries, not only in the USA. because they accept some jobs that are not good for the, let's say, civilized people. And as they are illegal immigrants, they are less than citizens, then they can do it for almost no money. And of course, this has an impact on the economy, but he doesn't think about it. He only thinks about having these people out of the USA because they're criminals or things like that. So now all the world is really worried about this, all this speech of hate and all this fear, all this sense of no hope are just igniting lots of movements to protest in the streets. We have women's march all over the USA, a lot of women, men, a lot of people just marching for equality. And it was not only in the USA streets, but all over the world. We have people protesting in Australia, in Canada, even in Brazil we had some people protesting about it. So what I see so far is that Donald Trump is just seems to have this idea that he's going to get America not great again, but back in the past. He's going to get America to a time where no one wants America to go again, or not even other countries in the world, because we're gonna have racism back with all its power. We're gonna have this misogyny back and everything that is bad back. So it's time to get ready for the future, but it's time to brace yourselves for this Donald Trump's administration, because it started really, really bad. And talking about how this is so similar to Brazil, well, somehow Donald Trump's term started as Dilma Rousseff's second term. We have protests getting bigger and bigger in the streets, and nothing is going to calm these people down. Eventually, the first mistake he makes, it doesn't matter how small, how big it is, this first mistake will be strong enough to make his impeachment happen, just as it happened in Brazil. So I believe Donald Trump is just building his destiny right now, because a lot of people don't like him anymore. A lot of people didn't like him during campaign, and even people who voted for him now see that he has no plan. His plan is just to destroy what happened before. Doesn't matter if it's good or bad. He has no vision of the future. Of course, this is my opinion. We're going to watch from here in Brazil. It's a little better or easier than for people in the USA, but it's something that for me it looks really clear that is going to happen there in the USA. Let's just wait and see. Well, guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this. Again, talking about politics. I hope next week we can change the subject a little bit. But Donald Trump is really work hard to make us talk about him all the time here. This Saturday, we have a different event here in Natal. It seems it's going to happen now in the morning. They're going to reenact a meeting that happened between Getúlio Vargas, Brazil's president during the Second World War, and Roosevelt, the American president. And they're going to reenact this through the city. They're going to parade all the city with this. Let's see if it's a good event. It's a good tip for a cultural thing this Saturday morning. And of course, to talk about the podcast, if you want to hear about soccer tomorrow at 10 a.m., if you want to hear about other things but in Portuguese on Friday at 7 p.m., and let's hope we can get back here in English next Saturday at 8:30. All right, have a nice weekend, everybody. See you there.